jewel in South Africa's crown, a place of beauty and of history. Table Mountain towers above the pretty city, the dramatic waterfront, the beaches where the holidaymakers flock. And then 5.5 miles away out to sea is Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for so long. Yes, and no surprise, given how lovely Cape Town is, that many holidaymakers are here from England to enjoy not just the place, but this test match as well. Hello to you and welcome to the highlights of the first day's play and the fourth test of the series between South Africa and England. The South Africans still leading by 1-0, courtesy of the performance at the Wanderers at the start of the tour, but England playing better and better. In Durban, they held the upper hand for a lot of the time. The pitch here looked pretty good, dry, a tint of grass on it, but basically one for batting first. And when Nasser Hussain won the toss, he was delighted, given the tiredness of his bowlers from the other day in Durban, to be able to do just that. Let's have a look at the teams that were announced by both the captains. First, Hussain's side, there's just the one change there. Michael Vaughan is fit again, and he's back into the team instead of Darren Maddie. And the South African side, they also have one change as well. Mananta Hayward is not in the side, left out for the return of Jonty Rhodes, and the public here in South Africa will be delighted to see Rhodes back in the side. We're ready to get into the play now, and we'll pick it up with England openers Michael Atherton and Mark Butcher at the wicket.
Got that away, off the mark. Adams in pursuit, should go through for two and do. In the end of the first over of this fourth test match, England are 2 for no wicket. Off the mark immediately. Just a nice little delivery onto the pads. Didn't really have to work for his first runs. Big appeal and half stifled, and the end of an over. 4 for no wicket. That's a good shot. And for the first boundary of the morning, what a quality stroke that was.
Well, it was just a very gentle running that he said, and in fact that was an overstatement. There was no need for him to run. It really was a classy stroke.
And Butcher now puts it away, backward a square on the offside for his first boundary. It's 17 for no wicket. Jonty Rhodes has dropped it. I don't believe it. Well, well, well.
Alan Donald has almost exclusively moved the ball into the right-hander. This one a bit of width, but it just moves away from Atherton. He goes for the drive, and it's just gone a little bit too quickly to Jonty Rhodes. He's misjudged the speed that the ball has got to him. And he's put it down.
That was a fine delivery from Sean Pollock. That came back a little at the left-hander, and it bounced, went right over the stumps. This is struck quite magnificently through the covers for 4.
Well, not that full volley. But that was a beautiful shot from Butcher. He didn't, no extravagant swing of the bat, just a punch into the covers, pure timing.
This is too short from Donald, and it's pulled away through mid-wicket by Michael Atherton. Umpire Kure does the rest.
There's no doubt this is one of his favourite shots. He does play it in such a controlled fashion.
It's a good shot. He's going to get 4. Rhodes will give chase, but it's going to go down over the boundary. No. Well, never expect Rhodes to give up. Oh, he's missed that as well. And he's not a happy man. And that has gone in the air, over gully, down to the boundary for 4.
That's good stroke from Michael Atherton. He's uppercutted on purpose. Didn't even try to hit that down. He's normally a good roller of his wrist, but he doesn't bother here. He just rides the ball at the top of its bounce.
He's found pace here. Now, I'm not going to tell you if that's going to be 4 or not. It'll be a great race, though, between Gibbs and Rhodes. And Rhodes won it. Now take 2, 52 for no wicket. Oh, he's got that past Adams, not for the first time. And Atherton is looking in great nick.
Nicely helped on its way by Atherton, so much so that it's gone for 4. He had no problem playing the stroke whatsoever. It just about summed up A, the batsman's ability, and B, the pace of this pitch. Beautiful stroke. That'll run away for 4. Beautiful stroke.
Nothing wrong with the timing there. And Pakure signals the result.
That's 4 more. Sharp. Make the most of the lack of third man.
Well, Hansie Cronje, I'm sure here, has told the bowlers to go all out to get a breakthrough. 1 wicket even before lunch will be regarded as a success.
That's 4. Just the loosener a bit too short and a bit too wide. And that takes Atherton through to yet another Test 50. Remember, he did have a chance on 15, but his team respond and give him the applause that he deserves. Pulled away, and 4 more. He's got the pull shot to the boundary on most occasions this morning.
Not only is he getting himself into a good position, but the direction of the short balls is all incorrect. It's not far enough outside off stump, and it's not high enough.
Excellent morning for England. Lovely to see Michael Atherton so fluent. He played some beautiful strokes all around the wicket. And good to see Mark Butcher returning to some sort of decent form. No luck for the South African bowlers as yet. It could be a tough afternoon for them if they don't break this opening partnership quickly after lunch. We'll get into play now with Atherton and Butcher still going strong.
Appeal for LBW here, because I think it hit pad before bat. There seem to be 2 noises.
My initial reaction at this is pretty close. It comes in off the seam and probably hits Michael Atherton a fraction outside the off stump.
Oh, take that.
Well, again, the bounce not much higher than stump height. And then if it's short and wide, well, the control of the cut shot is that much easier.
Well, the Barmy Army are in full voice early on. They've got plenty to cheer about. This is 4 runs through the covers. Pollock just a bit over pitched, a little bit wide, and Atherton very quickly onto it.
Well, this is really a good batting pitch. Slightly over pitched. Pollock striving for a little bit of a way swing.
Oh, that dropped just short of second slip. Jacques Cullis, the man at second slip.
Nice away shape, finding the outside edge. Bounces in the end a good foot, 6 inches in front of Jacques Cullis.
Well, suddenly Kluser produces one that does nip through a little bit, and I must say One of the things about his bowling is that he's beaten the bat a few times. He's been unlucky. Again, it's through the covers. Diving Herschel Gibbs. Couldn't stop it. Jonty Rhodes after it. And 2 more to Atherton.
Oh, that's LBW appeal, but I think he found the inside edge. Been precious few appeals in this day's play.
2 distinct sounds there. The hard sound of the inside edge of the bat, followed by the softer sound of the ball hitting the pad. Look at the deflection there. Quite a thick nick, and not that difficult a decision.
Oh, he's got that away down to third man. It'll go for 4. And when he hits hard.
Slightly towards the bottom end of the bat when he played the stroke.
Cuts that away in the air, over gully, 4 runs, no third man.
He's been very quick to look for that cut, particularly off Lance Klusener when he's dropped the odd one short.
Oh, he's nicked something, but I think it's nicked the thigh. Could hear a very clear sound that he hit his bulky thigh pad. It's the end of the over, and it's 115 for no wicket. Oh, bit of bounce there.
One of the very few false strokes that Mike Atherton has played. Certainly involuntary push towards the ball as the extra lift from a fired up Alan Donald.
It's gone for that. It's in the air. Kirsten. Catch out. He's fallen into the trap. For a while, Kirsten didn't seem to see it, but then made good ground. And it's Alan Donald who gets Michael Atherton again. And England lose their first wicket with a score at 115.
Well, we talked about it, didn't we? And it's in showing such confidence. Gary Kirsten couldn't pick it up to begin with, hesitated and then had to dive forward. But it really was a fine catch and a valuable wicket to the delight of Alan Donald and the rest of the South African side. Mike Atherton goes for 71 and the score 115 for 1.
Welcome back to Newlands. Michael Atherton has gone, out-bowled, out-thought probably by Alan Donald. It's a blow for England when he does go, but the other anchorman, Nasser Hussain, has arrived at the crease, and he's there with Mark Butcher, who's playing well.
It's gone to slip, but it came off the pad. Pretty sure. Certainly a thumping noise.
Once again, Cyril Mitchley called upon to make a relatively difficult decision. And we'll soon see, well, the ball hit the pad first, but whether it brushed the glove on the way through or not, that's another question.
It's a good sweep. That's 4. So Hussain is off the mark. And England go to 119 for 1. Oh, chopped it so close, and to make matters worse, they're going to get a couple of runs as well. Just that wicket has intensified everything. This one coming back in, chopping it down, and must have missed the stumps by an inch or 2.
It's a good shot, wonderful fielding. Ah. Gets better all the time.
Cronje's done some good work over the last 2 overs of Donald's bowling. Donald's bowled 3 maidens in a row now. And Cronje just keeping the pressure on.
Well, it's brilliantly fielded by Jonty Rhodes.
The value of Jonty Rhodes only about 15 meters from the bat.
Cut away by Butcher. And out. Caught it. Third man. Well, I'd forgotten there was a third man down there, and the monitor's in my way. It's Kirsten, the catcher, again. What a way to get out. Oh, dear.
He'll be very disappointed, but Alan Donald and Hansie Cronje in particular are delighted. And I just wonder to what extent that kind of dismissal wasn't planned. He's dug it in short, wide. Butcher has played one or two over that area before. Well, there's an element of luck involved, but that's what you've got to talk about. You've got to make things happen.
Just saw Alan Donald after the ball had been caught, pointing again as if to say, well done, skipper, you got it right. Mark Butcher, 40, caught Kirsten bowled Donald. England on 25 for 2. Play and miss. Donald to a right-hander for the first time in quite a few deliveries. Now he tries to G the rest of the team up.
That's a lovely stroke from Michael Vaughan. It's only worth 2. I'll tell you what, it was just a high-class cricket shot. Rhodes falling it in. Now that is a beauty. Beautifully bowled.
That's a worn ball. Pitch is just outside leg stump and misses off.
Well, that's well timed.
Oh, that's a really good stroke. Have a look at the footwork. When we watch the replay in this, think how far it's gone, even with a bit of bad hand pad. Tremendous use of the forward stride.
Indisputably South Africa's session. They bowled well, fielded well as ever, and it was very tough going for England out there. Donald took the 2 wickets, a couple of sucker punches. He really is an intelligent bowler these days, and Nasser Hussain and Michael Vaughan are hanging on in there. Tea time was also a bit special today in Cape Town, because the South Africans had voted on their cricketer of the century, and the names that English viewers will know well were in there, men like Barry Richards and Mike Proctor and Basil D'Oliveira as well. But the winner, and I don't think there was any doubt about it in the end, was the great Graham Pollock, the favourite son of South African cricket. He was voted as their man of the century. So a great fun business there at tea time as the red carpet was rolled out. We're going to go back into the play now, and it's Nasser Hussain and Michael Vaughan at the wicket.
Big appeal. No one's really made a move. Boucher didn't make a move down leg side, but I think that's where BC Kure thought it might be going.
Was Jacques Kallis's other one, his standard delivery leaving the right-hander.
There's a catch. They're asking for an inside edge, and Mitchley says yes. After long consideration, Hussain goes. There was a lot of confidence in the appeal from the South Africans around the bats. And the 3rd wicket falls. Adams takes his first of the innings.
Well, it certainly wasn't to begin with, from my view. It was on the pad because he tucked it away. Now, what did it hit there? Yes, on the glove. The bottom glove, you could see he almost took the bottom hand off. And what a brilliant decision by umpire Cyril Mitchley, who called it right. It was a very difficult one because he might not have been able to see it that clearly. Nasser Hussain goes for 15, 141 for 3.
Well, a bit of fortune here for Vaughan. That's gone over the top of slips, but I think the outer part of, if I say a bit of fortune, I think there was also a little bit of skill.
What Robin says is 100% true. Watch how he doesn't try to get over the top of that. He just hits the ball square, knowing that if it gets the top edge, which it did, it's going to carry all of those catches.
toss, and he's stroked it for 4.
Sign of class that a batsman pushes away, even though he's on naught, a loose delivery and gets a boundary immediately. There's another batsman that South Africa really need to dismiss early on, because he can take the game away from South Africa very quickly.
That past Rhodes, it stumbles just a little bit. Fields very, very quickly indeed in terms of the recovery, but they go through for 2. Well bowled. Change of pace. Touch of bounce too.
But that was what did him. It was not only the speed, because it was quicker, but the bounce.
Stewart. I think that bounced over the top of the stumps.
There was a funny little click there as the ball went past the stumps. I thought, well, maybe it had touched the stump there. It was very close indeed.
Oh, he's hit that beautifully. Foolish length, good stride out, chase for Rhodes. What about that for teamwork?
Well, it deserved 4, really, the shot from Stewart. The grass is predominantly kukui these days, and it slows up tremendously around about 20 meters or so from the boundary's edge.
That is a very, very good shot. No problem about the outfield there. Beautifully timed.
Well, he's hit it so hard, it's bounced quite close to him on the hardish, the pitch area, the square, and the next bounce has taken it beyond cover. So no problem with the outfield there. That is a tremendously timed shot.
Now that's where you want to bowl, if not that maybe just a bit too full. But Stewart just loves it off the back foot, as we saw in Durban, and again with that shot a short while ago.
Kisner getting excited for the moment, but the noise he heard and you heard was the bat striking the ground.
Oh, delicately played, very well played. We've seen him play the shot a while in his innings. He settled down nicely, but just felt that before tea, Donald came off after a good spell of 7 overs. That lovely timing, late cut. And that's well hit as well. And incredibly well stopped. Callis, brilliant. Pulled away and down to the deep square boundary for 4.
If you're going to bowl short to Alex Stewart, there has to be an element of surprise, and you've got to be able to get it up high above shoulder height. Otherwise, he plays this shot so well, back and across, and he's always, because of that, in the perfect position to play the pull shot.
That's beautifully driven. Down the ground it goes. It was a fast full delivery, and he just stroked it down the ground. Thoughts of a third here, and there was a little hesitation before Stewart came scampering back. Vaughan was always going to be okay, but Stewart wasn't so sure about the third run, so he's a bit late in starting. Nicely played that. Got his weight up.
Glorious shot from Vaughan.
Has a go at him again, and this one he's played magnificently. He's found the gap between the backward square leg on the boundary and the fine leg, and it's 4.
That's a fantastic stroke. Have a look at it. Just a split second of delay as Stewart decides how he's going to hit it. I really think he picked his spot. It's almost as if he waits and waits and then helps it further round. Having thought, no, I don't have to hit it down at Kirsten. This is wide enough for me to hit the gap here and just hit it a bit harder.
Now he lashes it through the covers. Two magnificent shots in a row from Alex Stewart.
This is just a superb example of eye-hand coordination. Didn't bother too much about the feet. He just kept everything still.
Donald's response. Have a go at that one, old boy. Something like that. Odd expletive thrown in, maybe. Nearly. Well, it wasn't a good delivery from Donald. It was very wide. Deserved to be punished. He just missed it. Then he has a go at it. And quite an eventful over one way and another. 198 for 3. That one came back very sharply indeed. One of the few that we've really seen do something terribly untoward off the pitch.
Magic bowling. Pure magic. Big Vince, how would he be pleased with that?
Would have been his trademark stuff. One cutting back and lifting into the chest, and then a beauty shaped away past the outside edge. I know I'd run for cover, but those guys rather seem to be enjoying being pelted. I suppose there's a time in the day when you become immune to pain. Lovely shot. Very well timed, forced away off the back foot, backward a square, and it's 4 more to Stewart.
Fantastic timing by Alex Stewart. Holds a good body position as he plays this stroke, very upright. Doesn't really do anything more than use the pace of the ball, but he makes sure that when the ball hits the bat, it's dead centre.
Partnership 65. Donald to Vaughan. That's going to be 4. It's gone very fine. I'll be surprised if the fine leg is that fine, and he isn't.
Well, you know that Michael Vaughan likes to get back, right back, so he is going to try and angle the ball finer than most batsmen. And he picks this one up very nicely indeed.
Pulled up in the air, but he's got it over mid-on. Didn't hit it all that well. Donald will take just a little bit of satisfaction from that, but not enough.
Well, this turned out to be no more than a swat. Allan Donald getting it in the right place. You can see it was high, and for once, Alex Stewart's footwork not that good, but still the ball flew beyond Shaun Pollock at mid-on. Donald getting up there. He hits 140. He's a difficult prospect.
Here it is again. Kirsten under it and out. Donald wins after all. Well, he'll be delighted with that. It's the 3rd wicket, if you like. 2nd from the hook shot and 1 from a cut shot down the 3rd man that England have lost. And what a blow that is to the tourists. And how happy South Africa must be.
Well, this has been a ferocious battle between Allan Donald and Alex Stewart. Neither one prepared to give way, and in the end, this is the result. Victory to Allan Donald. Alex Stewart goes for 40, and the double fingers up from Gary Kirsten. Good planning by the South Africans. England 213 for 4 now.
Was he leaving that or just late on it?
He's trying to show us that he left it, probably. With that little... Oops. No.
Ouch! Caught slip. Nicely caught by Callanan. It was a full delivery. It wasn't a Yorker, but it was good enough.
Well, we were concerned when we saw him coming in as a night watchman. With this much time left in the afternoon's play, and it hasn't worked. Look at that, a wide one. No footwork to speak of. He did let the bat fly, but Daryl Cullinan makes a sharp chance look easy. Andrew Paddock has to go. He failed to trouble the scorers. He's on 0, and England remain on 213 for 5 as Daffy Duck accompanies him off the field.
Play and miss from Vaughan. Play, miss. Pretty much the tactic of the last over. Back foot, back foot, back foot. Get it up there, drive it. Caddick nicked it. Adams didn't.
Yes, come and fetch me, as it were. A sign of a man who's not quite organised in his technique. So once again, excellent fast bowling from Alan Donald. Perfect length, just a little bit wider.
Oh, and again, that's 4 times he's beaten the outside edge of Vaughan in the last 2.5 overs that he's bowled at him.
Well, Michael Vaughan is of the Atherton school. He believes in staring down the fast bowler when he's been chipped. But I'm afraid in his heart he'll know that the bowler is well on top at this stage.
Big Nick Backer. Is it too much? Perhaps it is.
Well, this batsman is being severely punished here. Look at this. This one nipping back off the track. And umpire Cyril Mitchley in the end not having a very difficult decision to make. But it once again beat the bat. All ends up. And he gets one away. This time Sean Pollock just drifting it towards the leg stump. Paul Adams is there. And a sensible call of no. 2 runs, crew. 215 for 5.
If this was a boxing match, you'd say that South Africa had sneaked ahead on rounds 1 after the excellent efforts late in the day. Donald has been quite superb. For England, too many players got going and then didn't go on. 3 men 40, Vaughan, of course, unbeaten. Michael Atherton played quite beautifully earlier on for that 71. The South African bowlers, look at that. Alan Donald, 20 overs, 4 for 42. Just as you think he isn't at his best, he turns round and surprises you. Paul Adams, the other wicket taker, 21 overs, 1 for 38 from him. He was impressive today, and all in all, South Africa will be pleased, most pleased, I think, to have got rid of Atherton when he got to 70-odd. That isn't easy to do. After play, I had a chat to the former England captain. Great day for the spectators, Michael. Are honours even, or did South Africa just sneak an advantage towards the end?
They probably sneaked an advantage with that wicket, but I think we're valued for a few more than 215 as well, because it's been quite a slow outfield.
You played beautifully yourself. There's a story going round. You had dinner with Barry Richards and Graham Pollock the other night, and they were encouraging you to play more shots. True or false?
Certainly had, well, we had tea, afternoon tea. I don't know whether they encouraged me to play more shots. They know how limited I am, I think.
No, they're denying it, and they're trying to take some credit for your fluent stroke play. You did time the ball very well today.
Yeah, it was a nice wicket. Nice to win the toss and make first use of it. Disappointed not to go on and get a big score, but, you know, you can't complain sometimes.
How does the dressing room feel about 3 players out attacking the short ball?
Well, you have to decide how you're going to cope with a short ball. Obviously disappointed that 3 of us got out. Well, 2 pulling and 1 cutting. As for mine, I was trying to hit mine in front of square, but it just kind of came off the pitch so slowly that I kind of was almost through the shot, and that's explained, you know, why I put it down his throat, so that's disappointing.
A word for the morning about Andrew Flintoff, a player you know well. We're waiting for him to come to the crease. He's had a good tour, I think.
Yeah, he's played pretty consistently. I think it'd be nice tomorrow if the guys like Michael Vaughan, who's in now, and Chris Adams, Andrew Flintoff, they've all played a few test matches now, and you know, they've got to know the rhythms and tempo of test cricket, and it might be a time for one of them to really shine tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us, Michael.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful Cape Town, if you were English, yesterday morning, when Michael Atherton, would you believe it, took the game by the scruff of the neck to the delight of the considerable English support. During the afternoon, though, the picture changed dramatically as South Africa's champion, Alan Donald, earned the applause of his home crowd. Yes, a top-class day of Test match cricket. Yesterday is something for everybody. Hello and welcome to the highlights of this, the second day from Newlands. A reminder that South Africa are one up in the series. It really is time for England to make a move. Let's have a look at the card overnight. 215 for 5 wickets at the end of the day meant, I think, that it was South Africa's day. England batsmen got going and didn't capitalise. Atherton played beautifully, Stewart as well, and Butcher perished on the third-man boundary. He'll be mighty disappointed with that. The South African bowlers, Alan Donald, outstanding in the middle of the afternoon when the big crowd got behind him. 4 wickets for him. He is a true superstar of sport over here. And Paul Adams, who may be a superstar of the future, bowled extremely well and had every England batsman under pressure. All right, the weather this morning, very hot. A different sort of day from yesterday. The wind has died down. The pitch looked good and dry. We'll pick up play with two players with so much to prove at the crease for England, Michael Vaughan and Chris Adams.
It's up in the air as he turned it off the hip down to a backward square leg position. Donald is down there, fine leg, so he gets round and they take 2. First runs of the morning. Field for LBW here. Umpire Mitchley walks away straight away, and so the end of the over. 218 for 5.
Well, Pollock is struggling to get it just right. He's bowled a few which have swung away nicely, but from a line outside that off stump. And whenever he's bowled a straighter line, he hasn't been able to get the same swing. And this one starting to straighten, but just not quite enough.
Oh, he's caught. Very well caught by Paul Adams at short leg. And Michael Vaughan is gone. Oh, it's Kirsten. It's Kirsten under the helmet, not Adams. And that went quickly off the bat. And Donald gets his 5th.
It's all happening for Kirsten. He can't stop smiling at the moment. That's his 4th catch of the innings. Bit unlucky for Vaughan. A little bit of extra bounce. High up on the bat, but straight off the meat of the bat, the face of the bat. And it's hit Kirsten, I suspect, in the stomach. But he's had the presence to just hang on to it, grasp it almost as if he's taking a high up and under. And that's the end of Vaughan, shaking his head. Very well played again, Vaughan. Got a nice start, but he's gone for 42. And England now 218 for 6 and in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, my goodness. Donald nearly had 2 in a row.
He's bowling quickly. Flintoff a little bit weary perhaps of some extra bounce and really not in any position to play any kind of shot.
On target this time, Pollock. He's bowled 3 outside the off stump. This one straight, and that gets Adams another couple of runs. Quick ball up in the air. And they're asking BC Curry. Curry says no. If I was Flintoff, I'd give and flex my arm a lot quicker than that. I wouldn't wait for the decision and then do it.
Well, we'll have another look, and it did beat the bat by quite a distance and hit the other shoulder. So now he's taken one on the left shoulder and one on the right. But a good decision by the umpire. Sometimes those aren't easy to give.
It's driven down the ground. Yes, 2 you would have heard from Chris Adams. Which is good calling if you can get it right straight away. And the end of a really good over, though, from Alan Donald. 2:23 now for 6. A bit late on that, young man.
Just a gentle comment from Shaun Pollock as he knew he'd beaten his man.
Bowled. There was a funny little noise, wasn't there? But nothing convincing.
Yes, one of the quietest was Shaun Pollock. He obviously knew that the ball hadn't struck the bat and just touched the pad on its way through.
Edge caught at slip. He's failed the mental test here, has Chris Adams. Applied himself for the first hour of the second day, but Jacques Kallis gets the breakthrough, and England are 231 for 7.
You're quite right. He's failed the mental test. He's been fed the outswinger. These are high-quality cricketers, high-quality catchers to go with them. And the long and the short of it is that Adams has fallen for the 3-card trick, sad to report. Jacques Kallis is the maker of the trick, and South Africa are really powerfully placed now in this game. Adams has gone for 10. It's 231 for 7.
Edge, oh, just over the top of Jacques Kallis at second slip and down to the third man boundary. But that was not in control, but he hits, when he hits hard, so the ball flew at a rapid rate. Oh, that's a beautiful piece of bowling. It's gone to second slip. And Pollock couldn't stop it.
No, that's the place to pitch the outswinger if you're really getting it to swing. I mean, I think that was middle and leg, was it? Certainly middle.
He's pulled that away. And you get 4 runs through square leg.
That's a great hit from Flintoff. Quite right that he should look to have a go now, and interesting that he's played better when the ball's been bowled at him this morning. When he's had to go after it outside off stump, he hasn't found it easy.
Oh, he's cracked that away. It's gone over the gully area. And oh, I don't believe it. That is just unbelievable. Well, it would be if you hadn't have seen it on the screen. Third umpire will be called into action here. But this man defies belief. Hit back and going to be 4 straight past the bowler. Very nearly decapitated him. A little contest is now well and truly a spark here as Flintoff attacks. 249 for 7. Can be sure that Flintoff will be looking for a few big hits here. One slip. Down the wicket he comes. He's hit that in the air to backward point. Rhodes. Oh, great catch. First ball for Klusener. He gets his wicket. It's been a long time coming. And Rhodes takes the catch. Delight for Klusener. And Flintoff has given it away at a crucial stage in this England innings.
KwaZulu-Natal helps KwaZulu-Natal. Lance Klusener's first wicket in the series comes courtesy of a splendid catch from Johnny Rhodes. It had the skates on here, and then he got a bit worried about third man coming in. Then he was all right, and he just put on a little show for us. Very good effort from Flintoff. Probably a little rash in the end. He sort of had South Africa, and he could have just hung on a bit, I think. But anyway, 22 he's done for. It's 253 for 8. The catch is made by the pace to the ball. Where Rhodes is so quick is in setting off those first sort of 2 or 3 yards, the anticipation stage of fielding. And once he's covered that ground, it makes it much easier. He could have stayed standing up.
Edge gone. Boucher takes the catch. And Goff goes. Klusener gets 2 in an over, having not got 1 for 100 overs. And the England innings is folding rather rapidly before lunch on the second day. Out for 4. Rhodes again congratulating Klusener.
This is a desperate collapse by England. They were 213 for 3, would you believe, yesterday afternoon, and they're 255 for 9 now. Lance Klusener has picked up his first 2 wickets of the series.
This is forced away off the back foot into the covers. It won't go to the boundary. They've got 2 and they'll settle for that. Bowled in, backed right away, much as he did when he hit it through the covers, and knocked the off stump out of the ground. Well, I think Jacques Kallis realised the way he was playing that all he had to do really was get it on target, and at some stage he'd miss and he would be bowled, and that's exactly what has happened.
Well, Donald probably the hero of South Africa's innings, but the support bowlers have come to the party this morning. Tufnell managed a 2 through the covers. His call was more a cry of triumph than a call for yes, but only 2 runs, and England all out for 258.
When will England stop these ridiculous collapses? 258 all out. That was a very poor performance. They were playing so well at 213 for 3. Stewart went, and look how many players got going and didn't make the best of their fine starts. Really, I'm afraid too many batsmen are to blame for their own downfall. The South African bowlers, Donald superb, 5 for 47 from the great champion of South Africa, 2 for Kallis, 2 for Klusener, his first 2 of the tour so far, and 1 for Paul Adams. Right, we're going to take you back into play now with the South African openers, Gary Kirsten and Herschel Gibbs at the wicket.
Swinging down the leg side, I think. A maiden to start with from Darren Gough. Nicely played by Herschel Gibbs, not trying to hit it too hard, just timing it away through the vacant mid-wicket area and picking up a couple.
What a fine delivery that is. Big appeal from everybody. Gibbs. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. PC Kure says no, rightly or wrongly. We will see.
Came back beautifully. I had the impression it flicked the pocket on the way through, beat the inside edge, but we'll see again. It's very difficult to see from the first look. And in fact hit nothing. Nothing.
Oh, terrific cricket. I tell you what, that actually wasn't a bad delivery. It was just short of a length, nothing more than that. Solidly punched and brilliantly fielded. Wow.
The sound from the bat was so hard, it was like the crack of a gun. And then Nasser Hussain just diving away there on the hard pitch, of course.
Got that away in the gap past third slip. It'll run down towards the boundary, but I don't think it'll get there. Butcher hauls it in. Flicks it back to Flintoff, who completes the fielding with a good throw. Oh, another good delivery from Gough. That's twice he's gone through his man.
That's his other ball. He bowls a lovely little outswinger and then gets one to track back.
Well played. Oh, there's fun here if he hits. Oh, dear, oh dear. 10 for no wicket.
This is the bounce that was so easy for Michael Vaughan. And halfway, Herschel Gibbs gave up.
That'll be 4 byes. Or
Leg
wides.
byes.
What's he going to call?
Leg bars, I think, Robin. I think it brushed his shoulder. Yep.
Yep. Well called. beaten cover, and will go for 4. The value of 275 in the first innings.
Gary Kirsten on his home ground, 23 for no wicket now after 9 overs.
4. No messing.
That deserved more than 4, didn't it? It really was the most awesome shot. He's looking to get onto the front foot. Got the opportunity there. Caddick trying to tempt him into one from outside the off stump. Didn't quite get it right. And look at that. Raced away as fast as any shot hit in this match.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled again by Goff. Little off cutter that he bowls every now and again.
Watch how he rolls the fingers over there. And it does get some purchase.
Ah, beautiful stroke. Beaten 1 minute and smashes the next one backward a square for 4.
This man oozes class. All one can say. He doesn't move his feet to speak of. He leaned forward and then leaned back again and just angles it perfectly into the gap.
Oh, it's an ambitious stroke and a delivery that just took off. That was quick, I tell you. He's got the bit between his teeth, Gibbs, and not a very good shot, though. Very flamboyant. Oh, that's gone as well. He doesn't move, Gibbs just drives it away and looks as the ball races over this outfield to deep backward point for 4. Just look how bent that front knee is, and that increases his hitting area. Oh, he's gone, caught it backward point. Silverwood gets the breakthrough, and Vaughan takes the catch. And Gibbs eventually perishes. He's lived a dangerous life outside off stump, and this time hits it straight to point, and Michael Vaughan takes the catch, and Gibbs is out for 29. Well, I'm not quite sure that he intended to hit this as low as he did. It looked like he was trying to work it up over the point area, maybe towards the bottom of the bat. Vaughan takes a good catch because he's had to take it above his head, fingers pointing upwards. Gibbs gone for 29, very disappointing for him, 43 for 1. Pull that away, interestingly, down to deep square leg for 4 runs. Nice way to get off the mark. And it's 48 for 1. Oh, he's nicked that wide of the leg gully. Down to fine leg for 4 runs. Yes, and this was a genuine edge, though. He was playing towards mid-on. South Africa's 50 comes up in the 17th over. Edge, caught, oh, dropped. Well, Stewart diving to his right, low down, a very, very difficult chance.
Good bit of bowling from Chris Silverwood, dragging the batsman into the drive without the footwork. Jacques Kallis will have been surprised not to have hit it better because the ball didn't do anything.
He's given, as Dave Richards was saying, they've had little to drive Jacques Kallis in the last 2 test matches. Look at that. Popped out. Oh, he's whipped that away down to deep backward square. And Silverwood will feel gutted.
Well, it's a tremendous stroke from Kallis, and it is extraordinary how often it happens after a drop catch that a boundary comes within a ball or 2.
Lovely shot from Gary Kirsten now. It's a little bit of width for him, and he packs it away in front of square on the offside. It's 65 for 1.
Corking stroke from Kirsten. He's so nicely balanced now, and he's a different player from the one who struggled away in the first part of this series.
Through mid-wicket, beautifully timed, 4 runs, just too full from Silverwood, and onto the leg stump, and Gary Kirsten likes them there, puts it away through mid-wicket.
Beautiful stroke, he just nailed it. Didn't have to do anything, didn't have to move too much.
Pulled away. There's no one back there. Not that far anyway.
Absolutely right. He just leaned back on that and used the pace of the ball to pick it up over the backward square leg boundary. And the crowd told us, first of all, exactly where it had landed.
Have to hurry. Well, I think Kirsten was gone if that had hit. Ostensibly, they have run one to gully. I don't think they meant to. 83 for 1.
Well, yes, it was rather risky as well, but at least, again, he's looking for the runs. Beautiful pickup by Michael Vaughan and throw. Gary Kirsten would have been miles out.
He's hit that in front of square.
Was that perfection or was that perfection? It was slightly overpitched. It was almost a half volley for him to drive, but he knew there were 5 men on the offside, only 4 on the leg. Look at that. It was absolutely superb.
Down the wicket. Has he got hold of it? Caddick getting back. Can he catch it? No, he can't. So, a moral victory for the bowler, no doubt about that. And that's turned into 3 with a cheeky one here. Bottom line is 3 more to Cullis.
Well, Robin Jackman was like a jack in the box here, not Robin Jackman. He was jumping all over, trying to see where that ball was going to land. It was a bit of an outside edge. He hit it solidly, but not solidly enough to get it to the boundary, and it was an impossible catch for Andrew Caddick. Then what he did was throw the ball back in. You can see he leaned back, trying to get it over the top there for the maximum. And Caddick had no chance of catching it, but did pick it up on the bounce, then threw the ball in, hit the stumps, and Jacques Cullis very quick to seize the opportunity of taking an extra run.
Kirsten down the wicket to a deepish mid-on, but running as he hits the ball. Good cricket. 50 partnership comes up in 97 deliveries. Beautiful stroke. No ball called. That had nothing to do with it, though. 3 here. Oh, no. Cullis turns down the 3rd.
They're going well now, the South Africans. Lovely to see Jacques Cullis come out and play with a bit of expression. He's been bottled up so much of this tour. Kirsten unbeaten with 23, and England are finding it tough going. Gibbs the only man to have gone caught by Michael Vaughan. Off Chris Silverwood. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have a look at the final session of play. Welcome back to Newlands in Cape Town for the highlights of the second day's play. We're at tea time and things are not good for England. Bowled out for 258. South Africa are going very well in reply, and we're going to pick it up with Jacques Cullis and Gary Kirsten still at the crease.
And they're enjoying this sort of a thing from Gary Kirsten. Beautiful shot through the covers. It beats Nasser Hussain.
He's gone through periods in his innings where he's been pretty defensive and prepared to wait for the bad ball. But when he has played an attacking shot, it has been very attractive to watch indeed.
Got it through again. This time backward a square. Same result though. The elaborate signal from umpire Mitchley. 4 more.
Probably an even better shot because this was not as wide, perhaps not even as short, but he's waited for it and then used the pace of the delivery to get on top of it and hit it down. No chance of a dismissal.
Oh, lovely shot. Just a little short and wide, but onto the back foot, and he's very forceful in that area. Just backward a square. No chance for the fielders.
Really quality shot, because unlike the square cut where your bat is horizontal to the ground, he plays this shot so well with this very nearly a straight bat. Just allows the ball to get underneath his eyes.
This might go for 4. In fact, it will. There's no third man. He placed that nicely to the left of the backward point.
Again, the straight batted square cut, you can get such a thing. Going behind square, fine enough to beat the point. This will be 50 for Callis. 86 deliveries it's taken him. He had a chance, and he's taken full advantage of that let-off.
Well, there can be very few better moments than making a half century of this quality in front of one's home crowd.
Silverwood from the Kelvin Grove end, bowling to Kirsten. Delightfully played, the space as well down to third man, and no fielder, 4 runs.
The shot of a man in top form. He just angled the bat there, timed it well enough, using the pace of the bowler to push it away. Frustration for him, but another boundary. Look at that. Super, waiting so late before angling it into the gap.
Whoa, what about that? Well, he might be fiddling with his boots at the end of that over. This is a cracking shot. Hit beautifully. It's going to slow up, and Butcher will haul it in. It's been another year worth 4, but certainly 2 valuable runs. 134 for 1. Yes, he's got to the pitch and driven it beautifully. 4 runs to Kirsten. Slightly over pitch, but Kirsten used his feet well. And a positive end of the over for South Africa. 140 for 1.
Well, Gary Kirsten really uses his feet nicely on this occasion. Look how far down the pitch he went. Got it right on the half volley, so it didn't matter whether it bounced in the rough at all, because he was so well over it.
And there it is. Took him a while to get going. Took the fielder a long time to get going. Kirsten 50. 8 fours. 128 deliveries.
A man who 8 days ago might well have been dropped.
He's immediately put away through mid-wicket. Goff is after it. They've taken 2. They might want 1 for the throw, which they'll get.
Another example of a well-timed drive not reaching the fence, and we can say that England's total of around 258 was probably worth a little bit more, 20 or 30 runs. Then you can safely say that South Africa's total of 170, probably around the 200 mark by now.
Field for LBW here, and Tufnell was quite adamant. There was lots of support from Alex Stewart and even the man at Silly Point.
Question is that pitching on the line of the stumps or not? Umpires are initially thinking or believing it to be pitched outside the leg stump, or maybe turning down the leg side.
Didn't really get hold of that. It bounced a bit too high, and he went looking for it way outside the off stump. And he's not going to get 4 runs. In fact, he only gets 2 in the end. He plays a little more forcefully, and it eludes Goff. Is after it, and it'll be 2 more where it shouldn't have been anything at all.
Brilliant stop there. Absolutely superb. For this late in the day, wonderful diving stop by the same Chris Adams that we've just been talking about.
Good shot, 4. Penetrated that offside field eventually. Just afforded a fraction of room.
Well, that's the art of playing a bowler like Mark Butcher. You just have to be patient, and one of them is going to be wide like that, or a half volley, and he just, look at that, straight into the middle of the gap, using his height once again. A little bit of a flourish as he finished the shot.
Kirsten down the wicket, he'll get 1 for this, and that's all. 150 partnership between these two. 297 deliveries. Hit him on the head. Didn't bounce as much as Cullis might have thought.
Really was a bad one. I think Robin was 100% right. He didn't want to play across the line. It was quick. And even if he tried to hook it, he might have been late on that. Will they get the dreaded 200 tonight?
That brings up the South African 200 for the loss of just 1 wicket.
They batted very well, the South Africans, just touching the 200 mark at the close. Cullis outstanding, playing strokes all around the wicket. And Kirsten, well, he looks an immovable object since that 275 in Durban. He really is in very fine fettle. The England bowlers, they gave it everything, no question about that. And Silverwood, the 1 wicket taker, didn't town. 35 degrees and more today. Lovely if you're on the beach, and not much good if you're under the cosh in a test match. Sore heads for the English batsmen yesterday in the wake of another dismal collapse, and then sore feet for the bowlers as South Africans Gary Kirsten and Jacques Kallis piled on the agony. England need to show guts and character now if they're to save this match and the series. Yes, England are going to have to show massive guts and character. They're forecasting temperatures of 35 degrees today. They wilted yesterday. It was around about 30. South Africa are going so well. Let's have a look at the cards overnight. 200 for 1, the South African. Jacques Kallis has played his strokes, and he's a wonderful player to watch when he does that. Gary Kirsten, he's gone on really from that 275 in Durban. He looks an immovable object out in the middle. The England bowlers, Chris Silverwood picked up the wicket, but it was hard work out there. There really isn't much movement either off the seam or in the air. All right, we're going to get straight into the play, and needless to say, Gary Kirsten is still there, and so is Jacques Kallis.
Oh, he's gone! Outside edge, Kirsten goes. The first ball he faces, without adding, obviously, to his overnight score of 80.
This is exactly what England wanted. It was a very good delivery indeed. Silverwood producing the perfect line and length to a man who's on his home ground and looking set for his 2nd century in a row in test innings. Look at that. Good line, just a bit of bounce and the outside edge. Routine catch for Alex Stewart. Hardly had to move. Delight for him. Disappointment for Gary Kirsten. 80. South Africa now 201 for 2.
How's that? That was beautiful. All the way for 6. Well, no susceptibility there. Nicely played. And 2-13 for 2. Got that very fine. Exactly what I said he'd taken out of his repertoire. He's played it beautifully.
He really did. And I was going to say, the reason for so many runs being made down there, is because they've attacked him in exactly that place. Now, that was an excellently played shot. Watch how he takes the bottom hand off the bat.
Driven away through the covers. Whether it'll get to the rope is debatable as Adams chases it down. Just 2 more. And the end of the over. 219 for 2. A little inside edge and missing leg stump. Otherwise, quite a good shout.
The only other thing that could have gone wrong was it might have been no ball.
But this is through mid-wicket. When you've got 2 slips and 2 gullies, you can't afford to be straying on the leg stump. And Cullinan gets it away through mid-wicket. And they settle for 2. There'll be a couple here for Daryl Cullinan. I think there was a bit of the outside edge to that one, down between second slip and the first of the gullies. Gets 2.
Was tremendous cricket from England, who can sense the insecurity in Kallis. He's never been out in the 90s, so he shouldn't have a problem with getting 100. What he doesn't want to do is worry about this. Just kick it away and then wait for the next over or so.
He's got it now. He's got it now. He puts it just square enough of that short, fine leg. And his partner, Daryl Cullinan, was ready to assist him by racing through for the single. And Jacques Kallis goes to a splendid century, his 6th in Test match cricket for South Africa. Down the wicket goes the batsman. He drives nicely. And they'll be able to get 2 because that mid-off has come up and he's gone a bit wide. Well, we've seen 1 or 2 turn quite sharply, and we saw that one Jacques Kallis that kicked. And that did a bit of both.
Down the wicket comes Cullinan, and he's got this away, over and then through mid-wicket, or wide-ish, straight-ish mid-wicket, wide mid-on. So breaking the shackles, using his feet well. There's no deep fielder. 4 runs. Oh, edge and runs. Well, this happens when you've got defensive fields. Kallis gets the benefit of that thanks to that outside edge. Oh, it's beautifully stopped at backward point. Vaughan is wide and gets away. Adams gets away with this because he's a brilliant piece of fielding, throwing himself away to his left. Oh, he's gone, caught it slip. Bit of extra bounce from Darren Gough. The new ball's done it. And Jacques Kallis is out. Well, this did come out the blue. Extra bounce takes the shoulder of Kallis's bat. And they've delayed taking the new ball by about 8 overs. But I don't think anybody could have foreseen that. Nice catch from Atherton because it was moving quickly. Took it above his shoulder. And Kallis, well, a great 105. Maybe a bit sorry now he didn't cash in with some attacking shots after his 100. 246 for 3. Oh, he's hit it in the air, caught in the gully. Wasn't quite at the pitch. Carrick gets Cronje and the South African captain has failed to score. Somewhat slow to get onto the front foot, and very, very disappointed. Just a little sluggish, reaching for it outside off stump. The foot was slow in getting across early on in his innings, and a good catch by Vaughan in the gully. Success for Caddick, and this is turning into a successful morning for England. South Africa's captain out for naught, and South Africa 247 for 4.
He'll have to hurry. Well, he hit, but I think he was comfortably in.
Well, the England side have certainly got their tails up. Little push forward by Daryl Cullinan, and look at this. And yes, he's in, but what a good throw.
Driven down the ground by Rhodes. It'll go all the way for 4. It's a long chase for mid-on, but he won't make it. Good shot. Brings up the South African 250. Shot. Cullinan is just so strong in that area. Nicely played. There'll be 2 here. Play and miss.
Just suddenly, the extra pace forces the false shot.
Didn't England bowl well through the whole of that morning session, and credit to Nasser Hussain for the way that he got his troops organised. If you get to Gary Kirsten and Hansie Cronje and Jacques Kallis in a short space of time, you've done extremely well. So England back in the match, you'd have to say. We're going to pick it up straight after lunch now, and Jonty Rhodes is at the wicket with Daryl Cullinan.
This is going to be 4 runs because it's finer than where it was played a moment ago by Cullinan. So 4 to Jonty Rhodes.
2 slips in place and a third man, plus the short leg and that short mid-wicket again for Rhodes. And not quite sure what line Silverwood is intending to bowl. Whatever it is, he's just drifted a little bit towards the leg side.
This is through though. Won't go all the way. Tufnell will haul it in. Maybe 2. Caught at second slip. Silverwood has bagged his 3rd. And South Africa have lost their 5th wicket. And Jonty Rhodes on his way. Caught at second slip.
It's a good low catch, around about just above the ankle, and reward for Silverwood. He's really been enthusiastic in the field, and he's bowled with a fair amount of pace. He's got a little bit of away movement, I think, off the pitch, and that's been sufficient to get the edge of Jonty Rhodes' bat. Disappointingly for him, gone for 16, and England not that far out of this game, 279 for 5.
Well, that went very fast, but in the air, Michael Vaughan threw up his hands in the gully, and he's quite deep in the gully. And there's an indication that that might have flown pretty close to him. Let's have a look from this angle.
Cry of, oh, Vaughanie. And I think it might have been too high for him anyway, but he's in an awkward position there. If you're fielding at gully on that side of the field.
This is pulled away through mid-wicket by Daryl Cullinan. It's not going to make the boundary. They only get 2 for it.
Yes, it has to be really firmly hit for it to reach the boundary.
this as easy as anything. It's wide and it's absolutely packed away by Daryl Cullinan.
Well, he is great to watch most days, and that'll make you go home a little happier.
Bowled! Off stump, out of the ground. And that is a big blow for South Africa. It's a great disappointing blow for the crowd, but a huge fillip for England.
Most peculiar shot from Klusener, just at the last second, trying to play down across it towards mid-on. Really no feet nowhere, and immediately that got that dismissal. He turned and looked up towards the England players' viewing area, where I presume Fletcher is sitting, and received applause from there. 290 for 6.
Oh, well, you get that sort of ball, you do get beaten.
The new ball taken after 88 overs, so it's still relatively shiny and bouncy, and superb delivery from Caddick. Swung late away from the bat.
Nicely timed. It's running away. That heavy outfield. Silverwood has done very well. He's gone for the pull straight away. And down to the deep square leg boundary for 4, which will bring Cullinan his half-century.
We've noticed that Daryl Cullinan likes to take advantage of the bowler's looseners. Certainly did so there. That was an impressive stroke. A sharp crack as the bat hit the ball like that. He hit it almost square, and certainly far too hard for the fielder to have any meaningful chance. He goes to an excellent half-century.
That'll bring the 300 up.
That brings up South Africa's 300.
We saw Philip Tufnell bowling very accurately early on, and the 2 marks there and there are the ones. This one perhaps not as dangerous. There it is. That's what we were talking about. It hit perfectly into the mark. Now that really will cause some excitement, not only in Daryl Cullinan, but the batsman to come, and also for Paul Adams. It takes great skill to get it in that exact spot. There's only 15 centimeters square.
Come down the wicket, hit it over long on, and it's gone all the way. Big hit from Daryl Cullinan, taking out the danger area of the footmarks outside leg stump. So well that he hit it, he wants a new bat.
Yes, we could almost hear it as he hit. You hear that? There's a little bit of a go. The handle's gone in his bat. You could hear there was a movement in the cane handle as he smacked that ball. It didn't affect the shot, but he obviously felt it, and now he's going to change the instrument.
Oh, yes, he's gone. Caught it slip. And England continue to dominate this day's play. Andrew Caddick gets the wicket in his second, and Shaun Pollock is out. Caught at second slip. Some good bowling.
Well, wasn't that line perfect? Adams getting another catch, and he takes that one comfortably. Delight for Andrew Caddick, who's obviously been concentrating on exactly that. There's superior bounce and the superior pace. He gets Shaun Pollock for 4. South Africa now 307 for 7.
Welcome back to Newlands in Cape Town for the highlights of the 3rd day's play in what is an increasingly fascinating test match. England have just got rid of Shaun Pollock And arriving at the crease now to join Daryl Cullinan is Mark Boucher.
Cullinan is facing, though, Tufnell, start of a new over, and this he's got away for 4.
Lovely shot by Cullinan. Watch how he bends his knees as he gets into the shot.
Well, that was straight off the pad, no problem for umpire Kure, and was pitching outside leg stump. Went behind the bat, so this cause, I suppose, for the fielders to get a bit excited. They're upbeat at the moment. Caddick bowls. There's a beautiful shot, though, from Cullinan. There's a man out there who gets round, and they'll get 2. It's in the air, but there's nobody anywhere near there for catching. They're going to have to hurry along here now. Comfortable in the end. There was a bit of hesitation before they came back for the second. They'd been placed between the fine leg and the backward square leg.
Oh, well bowled. Young man, well bowled. And Cullinan is very happy to concede that. Oh, what a great delivery. They've all gone up, but somehow it's not convincing. There's just something in Goff's body language that is hopeful rather than certain.
Very difficult for an umpire to be able to decide exactly what it's hit when it cuts back through everything. Well, it certainly clipped elbow and shirt sleeve. Whether it hit the inside edge of the bat along route, I don't know. That is very difficult to say. I think you're going to have to give benefit of the doubt to the batsman, which means BC Kure has got it right.
Oh, good shot. Oh, well stopped. Great cricket. Fantastic. The fast bowler supporting the fast bowler in 34 degrees of heat.
Well, that moment is good enough, really, to crystallise the match. The whole quality of the cricket and the commitment by everybody.
That'll beat him, but not for 4. Caddick chases again.
Darren Goff is desperately trying to get that inner going.
400, 450s there, 300s. That's a good stroke. Caddick chases yet again. Just the 2. End of the over, 332 for 7.
Lovely stroke. Elegantly done through that big space at mid-wicket. Such good balance in this guy's batting. And pretty good running, too.
Shot. I don't know whether this outfield is unbelievably slow or whether the ball just isn't being timed on a regular basis.
Well, another good session for England. The bowling and the fielding was of the highest quality. If you pick up Rhodes, Klusner and Pollock during a long, hard day in a session, you've done OK. 342 for 7, with Chris Silverwood, incidentally, looking every inch the Test match bowler people thought that he may well become. We'll pick it up now straight after tea, and at the crease are Daryl Cullinan and Mark Boucher.
Nearly rolled back through his legs.
Well, he looked as though he'd done everything right. Gets back, covers everything with the pads, and then look at that thing bounce.
He's got that fine. He might well get 4 for it. No, he won't. Just 2. Good shot. Chase for mid-off. Hauled in. Pulled away with power.
Is there any better answer to a bowler who's got his tail up than a stroke like that?
It's nicely played. And it just might go for 4. Slowing up in those last few metres. No, it won't. 3 more to Boucher.
Yet again, another classic cricket stroke.
Good shot. 1. Turn for 2. That's all.
Brings up the 50 partnership with that marvellous shot. In 122 balls, so it's at a reasonable pace, a run every 2 and a bit balls in only 79 minutes. The contribution almost equal. Cullinan 28 and Boucher 23.
Slower ball, spotted and driven for 4.
My goodness, he's been devastating off the front foot today. He certainly picked that magnificently. It was the slower ball, and away it went.
Nicely tucked in. They'll look for 2 here. Caddick, who's just bowled an over, has got a long way to run. They get it comfortably. Down! Put down! Cullinan on 89. Not the easiest of chances, but nevertheless, it's gone to ground.
Like Darren Maddy there, he leaned back on it, he didn't time it all that well. We've seen Daryl Cullinan doing this before. He tries to get it runs off the first ball, the loosener of a bowler's spell. He certainly tried to do that here and nearly cost him his wicket.
Oh, there's an appeal for a catch down the leg side. The not out is done by Mitchell. It brushed something. It may well have been a pad.
Don't know, I can't tell. Milton Mr. Mitchley, so he has to give it not out, I think.
Well, he does find space with this cut shot, and it wasn't that short either. Two more to Boucher at 370 for 7. Oh, Cullinan in trouble at the bowler's end. Well, if Darren Maddy had hit, it might have been an interesting photograph. Good reverse swing. In the air. And safe. Down to deep the square leg. Maddy's gives chase. And a good chase. Just 2. 374 for 7. Whoopsie, straight into the shins of Darren Maddy.
That looked superb from Maddy. It looked to me as if he went down the pitch with the batsman Cullinan. There he goes. Wow. What good fielding that is.
Whipped away through mid-wicket. This will go for 4 for Daryl Cullinan to take him to 98.
Tufnell will continue from over the wicket into those rough patches. Crowd are behind Cullinan. There's a little electricity in the air here at Newlands.
Pretty fun if that had been held. Well, here it is. Pushed away to wide mid-on, and Daryl Cullinan goes to his century, his 10th, joining Gary Kirsten as the leading century maker in Test cricket for South Africa. Applause from Nasser Said and a good crowd here at Newlands. His 3rd consecutive Test 100 at Newlands. Catch it, slip.
Well, it was a double scratch, really, to the noise. That's why England have appealed. It's a legitimate appeal. Hey, he might have squeezed that. Again, incredibly difficult for Cyril Mitchley to be certain of it.
Adams continues, and as we thought might be the case, Daryl Cullinan opens up immediately and pulls that one through mid-wicket for 4. This is whipped away off his pads, and it's too fast for Caddick down there, and it gets to the boundary. Oh, that's a wonderful bit of bowling, and up goes the finger. That was a very good Yorker indeed by Silverwood, and at last the partnership has been broken with a fast Yorker from Silverwood.
I like Silverwood's attitude to the game. He gives everything all of the time, and well, that's right up there. It's swinging late. Boucher's beaten because of the swing. Question is whether it would have beaten the leg stump as well.
I'm afraid I think it would have. Up goes the dreaded finger from umpire Cyril Mitchley. And Boucher goes off shaking his head. 36 he made, and a very good innings from exactly 100 balls with 3 fours. South Africa now 397 for 8. Look at that. Who says Alan Donald can't bat? That's one of the best shots of the day. And the crowd love it.
Well, who said Donald Duck? More like Donald Bradman.
Oh, he's done it again. Not quite as convincing, and I don't know that it'll get to the boundary, but they'll be able to get 3. And Donald is getting a greater cheer than any of the other batsmen today. Got to contend with Silverwood right now. Fended off and dropping just short of second slip. Out. Caught at second slip. Donald didn't know where it had gone. The way he'd angled his bat, he was looking for the ball somewhere on the onside. He's furious with himself, but I think it found the sort of outside leading edge, as it were, and flew to slip.
Well, Donald trying to play this on the leg side, leading edge, back of the bat almost, straight to second slip. Sometimes it's slip, you take your eye off those, and you start looking for them down fine legs. So full marks to Adams. He's shown a good pair of hands today. Donald, Port Adams bowled Silverwood for 7. South Africa 405 for 9.
Pulled away by Cullinan. Because Silverwood not quite quick enough for someone who is 110 not out. Now 114 not out. That's a good shot. Easier to play it when you already have 100 behind your name, but nevertheless a very good shot. He's done it again. No, he hasn't. Straight to Vaughan. Cullinan goes. 3 overs remain. 2 will be taken off for the 10 minutes. England come out for 1 over.
Well, Daryl Cullinan is the last man out for 120. It was a monumental innings and a most valuable one for South Africa, who struggled all day. Michael Vaughan showing good hands again, and the last South African wicket falls with the score at 421. A superb innings by Daryl Cullinan.
Truth be told, Mark Boucher and Daryl Cullinan with that fine 100 rather took the game away from England. England bowled and fielded well, but a lead of 163 for South Africa is a considerable one. 2 wickets for Darren Gough, who did well, 2 for Andrew Caddick, 5 for Chris Silverwood, how pleased he will be, and 1 there for Philip Tufnell right at the end. I mentioned the 100 scored by Daryl Cullinan. I didn't mention the one scored by Jacques Kallis, who attacked England and played almost perfectly at times in that fine performance, and I had a chat with both Jacques Kallis and Daryl Cullinan at the close of play.
Yeah, it's always nice to do well at home. You know, the Newlands crowd has been faithful to me over the years, so it's always nice to get 100 at home, yeah.
And Daryl, you got there in the end, but it got tougher. England bowled tightly today.
Don't even.
Jacques, I just want to ask you, what's it like to be bowling again? Do you feel fully fit?
Yeah, it's always nice to be part of the game when we're in the field. You know, it becomes a long day if you don't bowl, so certainly fantastic to be back bowling, and hopefully I'll be able to pick up a few sticks in the second innings.
When the sun set on the southwestern coast of Africa last night, England could reflect on a job well done during a steamy day in the field. 5 wickets for the first time at Test level for Chris Silverwood, and what a fine performance that was. But a long rearguard is in line for the English batsman if the series is not to be lost here in Cape Town. As the sun rose on the 4th morning, there was a gentle breeze to accommodate the players. The 3rd day really had been a stifler. Hello to you and welcome to the highlights of the 4th day's play from Cape Town. An intriguing test match this, and one in which England have got a great deal to do if they are to save it. Now, the pitch still very good, straw-coloured, dry, ought to be good for batting. Some rough stuff though for Paul Adams to aim at. That may be a problem for England. Not much else wrong with the batting conditions. They're going to have to play well, and I think the start, the first sort of hour or 2 of this 4th day is very important. We'll pick it up with Mark Butcher and Michael Atherton at the wicket.
He's gone right across the left-hander. They all go up, and Sean Pollock has got an early breakthrough. Mark Butcher caught behind for 4, not adding to his overnight situation. And England in their second innings, 4 for 1.
Well, you couldn't have called it better. It was slightly wider than the first one, just angled away from him, and the faintest of outside edges. Almost no deflection either, but there was a clear nick, and umpire Curray didn't discernibly give him out. Instead, the batsman walked. He leaves for 4, and England 4 for 1. Well, that certainly was a rip snorter. First ball up. I'm also surprised that Hansie Cronje hasn't got a short leg in position, just particularly for a delivery like this. That could have gone anywhere.
Field for LBW, and umpire Mitchley will not give it. South Africans were very excited about that.
Well, there were 2 sounds here, that's why, and it could have been pad bat. Certainly did hit the pad and then flew away. Maybe his bat hit the pad on the way through. But as Trevor has said, a huge shout by the South Africans.
You see, he wasn't that far forward, and there's appeals there from Jonty Rhodes for a catch. Now, I think that what saved him here was the height. You see, it hits above the roll on the flap, and he's not that far forward, yes, but it's climbing still. This will give us even a better idea, and I think that was a good decision by the umpire. And the response from Nasser Hussain is to have a go at Donald and hit him for 6. And Donald makes sure that he walks very close to him to have a little word in his ear.
Well, it was a surprising shot, and it could have almost been reflex that he knew he was out the ball before. One doesn't know, and probably never will know. But huge tension.
Tremendous shot, I must say that. We know he likes to hook and pull, and he does so well. And to start with, they've only got the one man back. They often have 2 back for him and for Atherton, but at this stage, only Paul Adams down there at fine leg, and he hit it 2 square for that. This is Pollock. That's nicely played through mid-wicket by Atherton. Still, the outfield is fairly slow, so they only get 2. Oh, there'll be an appeal for LBW here. There's no shot was offered. And flicked the front of the pad on the way through to Boucher.
Well, this looked an excellent shot to me, straight up. Look at that. He didn't play a shot, and I'm afraid that's out.
I have to agree with you. I think that he was very lucky not to be given out, because there's no shot here. Does hit just outside the line of the off stump, but if you don't offer a shot, that doesn't matter. Was it going to hit the stumps? That's all that matters, and the umpire decided that it wasn't. Beautifully driven. That's a very good shot, because Donald is driving him onto the back foot, and to be able to come forward as quickly as that and get the full face of the bat to it, that's a magnificent shot.
Perfect balance, good flow of the bat through the line.
Oh, Donald beats his man.
And in true great fast bowling fashion, finishes his follow through, almost standing right next to Nasser Hussain. So just enough distance for him to hear exactly what he's got to say about it.
Smash this away for 4 runs. Well, he's had his moments of problems and trouble here, Hussain, but he's responding well. He's playing positively. He's not going to allow the South Africans to dominate him.
Alan Donald tried a change of pace and unfortunately lost the length when he did so. Nasser Hussain very quick to seize the opportunity. He's not going to be ducking and diving, that's for sure.
They get 3 here. Adams, the man who's having to run from backward, square leg. He made ground very quickly, quick enough for Hussain to not want the 3rd, but Atherton was coming back anyway. Online this time. Let's just watch Donald's body language. No, he's not good. There's something. Top of the left thigh, is it? Groin. Inside top left thigh.
It's called old age, Alan.
He's not going to complete the over. There's 2 balls to be bowled. And they'll be bowled by Jacques Cullis. Donald will leave the field. This is Pollock. Ah, now did he play at that? This is a really good shout. Well, I think Pollock's got reason to believe that Hussain didn't really play at that. But can the umpire be sure?
Pretty certain he didn't play at it, and it's not as high as the previous one. Whether it's come back enough, that's the only doubt. Come back a fair amount. Well, a bowler's umpire would have given that out.
Struck him outside the line, but he hasn't offered a shot. Good shot, 4 runs. Everything right with that stroke.
Callis trying to get a little bit of a way swing, over pitching. Atherton really just leaning on this one, waiting for the ball to come right to him.
Wait, run, run, run. Suddenly realised there was one. Good fielding from Cronje. It's turned away through mid-wicket and will run away for 4. Nice timing, poor delivery.
A lot of confidence in that shot. It wasn't just a glide down the leg side. He really gave the wrist some work. Flicked it away past Gary Kirsten. A nightmare for the short leg, this one.
Hit him on the head. That doesn't hurt anymore.
Can stun you though a little bit. It's quite a loud noise, you can imagine, inside that helmet there, and really that's can give you a headache. Fortunately though, it's not going to put you in hospital. Nice take from Boucher there, ball deflecting to his left.
Oh, Callis can bowl all right. Beautiful delivery.
Lovely bowling.
It's in the air. And safe. This is Klusener's introductory delivery, and not a bad one either.
No, good one. Slanted in. And it was a hard, fast ball. It wasn't a sort of gentle loosener.
Oh, that's a beautiful delivery. Appeal for LBW. Out! A long consideration. Hussain stares at his bat. Umpire Kure has given him out. And Lance Klusener gets the breakthrough. Disbelief on the England captain. Came off his bat. And England lose their second wicket at 40.
Tremendous bowling from Lance Klusener. A little bit of swing. And there was just the thinnest edge from Nasser Hussain. That will have been terribly difficult for the umpire to tell. The point is that Klusener's got it to hold up from close to the stumps and move away a touch. And that was hitting middle stump. And Nasser Hussain's gone. He is absolutely distraught as I've seen him any time in the series. He's gone for 16, England 40 for 2.
Oh, there's another big appeal. That one is not out. Umpire Kure says missing leg, but Klusener has come thundering in here and created all sorts of mayhem, and England really are battling away. You can just see the out. You can see off stump, and it's probably hitting him on middle and leg, maybe even middle. Oh. Suddenly everything just intensifies. A good stop at slip by Sean Pollock, and the end of a superb over from Lance Klusener. True mid-wicket. Donald has to give chase. He won't be too happy with that. Ooh, I tell you what, happy or not, he's made a good pick up and turn and throw, and Vaughan had to scurry.
It's not the first time in the game that people have had to be careful about a second run, because the ball slows up much sooner than you think. It gets halfway in its journey, and then look, the ball literally pulled up. And wonderful athletic fielding from Alan Donald, who's got an injury problem.
He's played that away nicely. Adams comes screaming around the boundary. Klusener. Long chase for Klusener. And 3 taken easily. Pulls it away. He's headed behind square along the ground. And the heavy outfield is going to slow it up enough for Adams to make a great stop.
Atherton thought that there was 3 in this. Well, he would have thought there was 4 when he hit it, but for Adams to save the 3rd, it's the recovery now that's so good. Vaughan decides to send Atherton back, so they only get 2. And
this is another lovely looking shot down the ground on drive. And Michael Atherton gets 2. Thoughts of a 3rd. And just as well they decided against it. Good bit of fielding by the South African captain. Oh, it's going to go away for 4. There's no price for Daryl Cullinan. It slipped. It was in the air, but it went very sharply to his right.
Just rushing onto him a little quicker than he might think, and thick edge for Atherton. Wide and short, though, deserved to be punished.
He's caught. Heard the nick. Yeah, he pauses for a moment, and then he's on his way. And a little more effort there from Lance Klusener. He got it to bounce, and Vaughan rather carelessly sparred at it, got the nick on the way through to Boucher.
One of the things that Vaughan might have to work on in his Test career is trying to work out accumulation shots where he can keep the scoreboard ticking without playing any flamboyant strokes, without much risk. And England precariously plays 59 for 3 now. Klusener strikes for the 2nd time.
Is he out? Bat pad. What does umpire Kure say? The South African players are adamant. Atherton is unmoved. Umpire Kure is unmoved.
Well, it could just boil over here a little bit. There's been a few words between the England and South African players, and Cullinan getting involved doesn't need to.
Particularly
Obviously
involving Atherton. Remember the little bust-up between Atherton and Jonty Rhodes at St George's Park? That bat is still coming forward. There's no doubt it glances off the pad in the direction of the bat, and with the bat coming forward, I think that is the one that tells me he definitely hit it.
Atherton surviving that moment of controversy in the issue of the catch to a silly point meant that he got to lunch unbeaten on 34, but England in real trouble. 60 for 3 with Butcher, Hussain and Vaughan all gone. And I think we can say that Nasser Hussain was a little unlucky to get given out LBW, though it won't have been an easy one for the umpire to be certain that Hussain got an edge to it. The South African bowlers, Pollock has been good, 7 overs, 1 for 8. Lance Klusener, outstanding, 7 overs, 2 for 8. The Natal boys doing an extremely good job there. Well, it's not looking good for England, we have to say that. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have a look at the 2nd session of play. 4th Test match. England are struggling. They're 3 down. At lunch, we'll pick it up now with Alex Stewart at the wicket with Michael Atherton.
That might be out, and is caught by Cullinan. A first slip. Atherton goes. And surely that is the beginning of the end.
that is brilliant bowling, but an even more brilliant piece of fielding by Cullinan. Low to his left, and often the first slip can be forgiven in thinking this is the wicket-keeper's catch. But he has the presence of mind to still go for the ball and takes it almost as it goes behind him.
Excellent catch. First slip going to his left. It's something that happens so seldom because as David Richardson says, the keeper normally catches those. Atherton caught Cullinan, Volpol at 35, and England in all sorts of trouble at 62 for 4.
Adams.
Stewart squeezes this backward a square. Donald in pursuit. Throw. That's nicely timed by Stewart. How the ball just holds up in that last 10 metres of outfield. End of the over, 66 for 4. Fielded. Cronje.
Here's Adams. To Stewart. Oh, he's bowled in! Played over the top. And Paul Adams has taken the key wicket of Alex Stewart at a crucial time. And look at the delight for South Africa, those players and supporters.
Unbelievable stroke this. It really was. Can only be put down to the incredible pressure that was on the batsman. This is a routine full toss. Played outside it, spun beautifully, and he lost his middle stump. Huge delight on all faces, but particularly Paul Adams. Alex Stewart goes for 5. England deep in trouble now at 66 for 5.
Oh, there it is.
We've been just talking about where he puts his foot. Now, this ball demanded that the left foot was put further across outside the off stump, but look where it is. Straight down the pitch. And that's why he's vulnerable all the time, even though the drive is his strength.
Much straighter, and he hits it very well down towards the long off. Slowing up. Klusen has done well. Huge throw. Now that could be close. Kirsten didn't look too interested. Lots others did.
Suddenly the umpires are put under enormous pressure. That's out. Oh, that's huge. That's a huge nick. That's all the way. And once again, umpire Kure, he's having a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. That was obvious. With that bat pad and the way he should have gone.
What about this one? For LBW, not out.
This was not a long way off. We'll have to see from the mat, I'm sure, as to where his foot was, but he doesn't usually put it outside the off stump. Here, and that's out. I'm sorry, but that is out. Look, he sees it pitch, and he sees it carry. That's dead straight. That's plumb. This is becoming worse than a nightmare.
Well, it's just going nowhere except straight on from there onto the stumps. Adams has said, thank you very much. I'll use these opportunities you're giving me and give umpire Kure something to do with his right arm.
Test cricket should not be subjected to this sort of standard of umpiring. I'm sorry.
Full toss clattered away.
Slight loss of rhythm by Paul Adams. It has to happen sometimes.
Well, that is a good cracking shot, in fact. Smashed away.
In the slot, this delivery, and you can see even though the feet don't go too far across again, he just swings the arms.
Collected back. Oh! Well, Adams has made a great save. But sadly, it was also a chance, but he's given an almighty crack.
Extremely difficult chance that he hit it very hard indeed.
He's cowered that away to deep mid-wicket for 4. This is how Caddick survived, and so did umpire Kure.
I think he was very close to the firing line, umpire Kure. And then this was the last ball. Went into cow corner.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. He has unleashed one or two magnificent shots, has Adams. And that was one of them.
What the great fast bowlers will say is you can do it once, you can do it twice, you can do it 3 times, you can do it 4 times, and maybe you'll be able to do it to me 5 times. That's hit me to the boundary. If I get you out the 6th time, I've won, because I've got my wicket at a cost of 20. Bear that in mind, Mr. Adams or Mr. Donald will say.
158 runs away from making South Africa bat again. Caught. It was short enough to play the shot. Only problem is he didn't get over it. He hit it very hard, but unfortunately straight at Herschel Gibbs at backward point. And the catch safely pouched, and Gibbs throws it away over his shoulder.
Donald picks up another wicket, and he was the happiest of the lot in this quest for 300. Andrew Caddick fought pretty hard for England. It's a desperate and hopeless cause. He'll be upset with himself, but he needn't be. This is a job that has to be done by people at the top of the order. South Africa are ahead of England, and they're proving it today. 14 for Caddick, 105 for 6 now, England.
Rare misfield from the South Africans, and it's gone for 4. Pollock the guilty party.
Yes, he didn't have very far to go. The ball was hit quite hard. It went off the toe of the bat, or towards the toe anyway. But frustration because Paul Adams needs to keep the pressure on.
Bowl him out, inside edge, onto the pad, I think, and then back onto the stumps. Adams strikes again. Adams, bowled Adams.
Well, really, that once again was a disappointing shot from a man who's claiming to be a test match batsman. Turning around, looking as though something was said to him, perhaps. But look at this shot. Thick inside edge. I suppose we could call him a bit unlucky. Thick inside edge, onto the back leg, and then onto the stumps. So Adams now goes for 31, and the England score 113 for 7.
In the air, out, caught mid off. The catcher is Donald. Good catch too. Made to look reasonably simple. Goff goes. England are 8 down.
Darren Goff didn't play a dreadful shot here. It just came back at him a little bit off the wicket. And look at this for athleticism. There's a big man. He's semi-injured. He's gone off the field, and what a good catch. Quite rightly showing delight. Exceptionally good catch there. Darren Goff goes for 8. England now 125 for 8.
5 round the bat.
Caught slip. Cullinan catches it. Adams wraps up the innings. Flintoff is not going to come out to bat. And England lose by an innings. Delight for Cronje. Sharp catch to slip. You can see how pleased all the South African team is, especially their captain. Absolutely over the moon.
Dear, oh dear, what disappointment for so many English supporters who have come to Cape Town. There was real depression on their faces with a day now short in this match. England all out for 126. Andrew Flintoff unable to bat, a disappointment to him, a disappointment to England in general. But the real sadness is that the batting wasn't up to scratch, not just in this innings, but when they collapsed from 213 for 3 to 258 all out in the first innings. The card today, only Michael Atherton and Chris Adams making any impression. Everybody else finding it very hard work against some tough and disciplined South African bowling. Looking at those figures, Adams, of course, bowled the first over on the previous evening. 19.3, 3 for 42 for an ever-improving wrist spinner. 1 for 35, Donald. He has 290 Test match wickets now, just 10 to go to the magic 300. 2 for 19, Sean Pollock. He bowled quite beautifully at times. Jacques Kallis 1 for 19. The outswinger is working well. And Lance Klusener is back as a bowler, make no mistake. Important wickets at the top of the order. 7 overs, 4 maidens, 2 for 8. Well, Daryl Cullinan was chosen as the man of the match. That was something of a surprise. The victory was by an innings and 37 runs. The series has been won by 2-0. And after play, I had a chat first with Nasser Hussain and then later with Hansie Cronje. Nasser, the batting let you down.
Yeah, especially first innings. 200 for 3 after winning the toss. The wicket was getting better. Second day was always going to be the best day to bat on it. To collapse for 255 all out, it's just not good enough, really.
Certain players were chosen specifically by England to be part of a new England. Who do you think will go on? Who's impressed you?
Well, I'm not going to stand here and separate who's, it's up to them. They've had limited chances so far. They've got another test to impress. Obviously Michael Vaughan has come in and impressed with the bat. And as you saw, Chris Silverwood's got the biggest heart a captain could ever ask for with the ball. Every time I look up for someone to bowl, he's almost staring me in the face. So there are definitely positives that have come out of this tour so far. But all I want is every individual played in this game to have a look, analyse their game, work out why we lost it, work out how they can get better, and then take that into the next Test match. That's all we can do, really.
Hansie, well done. That was a most efficient performance.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought, other than the first session where England played really good cricket and got 150 not for nothing, it was a big turnaround for us after lunch on the first day, and it started with the leader of the pack in Alan Donald getting the 2 openers out for us, and then really getting the ball rolling and good support from all the other bowlers.
I feel that this team has, say, 7, 8, maybe 9 players absolutely at their peak.
I think I've been really blessed throughout my campaign as captain of the side to have been blessed with so many fantastic players. If you look at the 1999 all-time run scorers, averages, bowlers, fielders, everyone's up there, and it's really been fantastic for me. Tight situations, you've got 3 or 4 players to call on, and that's been the key for this side.
You signalled out there Alan Donald. Without ever quite bowling, I feel, at his best, he's taking wickets almost with the power of his personality.
He's tremendous. That's a sign of a good player. When you're not in good nick, you can still score runs and take wickets. And he's obviously important to the team and in the balance of the makeup of the team. And I've played with him since the age of 13, and it's tremendous to have somebody like that around.
Series is gone, but you go to Pretoria with a Test match left and a lot of names to be made.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of names to be. You're exactly right there. There's opportunities when we get back to England. There's a Test match to be won. We've put in a lot of effort here on this tour so far, and 2-1 sounds a hell of a lot better than 3-0. I know that much.
What about about the South Africans? Do you think that you're playing against an outstanding side?
I think we're playing against a side who are difficult to beat in that they have depth in their batting. You know, with someone like Boucher coming in at 9, you're almost having to bowl them out twice, and you know, we're just going to have to work hard at that. They're a very good side. Nothing's changed from when we came out here. We came out to compete, playing against the top side, and they've shown it in the last 2 or 3 games that they're a very difficult side to bowl out twice.
So if you're measuring yourself, you're doing it against, would you say, one of the 2 best sides in the world, along with Australia?
Definitely. They're different sides. I think Australia has a bit more genius about it, you know, in Warne and people like this. And I think this is just almost like a military operation from South Africa. They give you very few chances, and they pack their batting and grind you down. And we've got to be, when it goes to Centurion, we've got to make sure we grind them down.
There have been times recently when you've looked a little down on yourself. It's hard for a captain when you don't make runs. Is this enough of a boost to lift you back up again?
I hope so. I mean, you know, last year I was scoring runs and we didn't win the series. This year we won the series and I didn't score any runs. So I'll take the series win, but personally it hurts when you're not contributing. You sit there with 11 fantastic players in the team, in the dressing room, sharing thoughts with them, and you feel a bit of a dud when you don't score runs and don't contribute. So you try your best to make up with a bit of fielding and a bit of bowling and a bit of captaincy, but obviously I'm there as a batter, so I'd like to start contributing with the bat as well.
Well, I think you've captained outstandingly well. You're going to Pretoria now. Are you expecting him to bounce back, or do you suspect that you've got him where you want him?
Well, I think that Andy Caddick to me has been the outstanding bowler of the series from an England point of view, and it's going to depend how much gas he's got left in himself. He obviously bowled a tremendous amount of overs in England. He's bowled a lot of overs here. He bowled 3 days on the trot in Durban where it was extremely hot. He looked a little bit weary in this test match and still continued to impress. So it's going to very much depend on how well he comes out in Pretoria. From a batting point of view, they can't just keep sort of resting on Atherton, Stewart and Hussain. They're going to have to look at somebody else to score runs as well.
Lastly, is the dressing room very low, or do you feel that the spirit that you've built is still there and it will be possible to lift them for Pretoria?
I feel that the spirit's still there, but they're obviously very disappointed at the moment.
Thanks for joining us.